Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachi. Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Patita Pavana, Gaura Hare. Patita Pavana, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribal, 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 Haribal. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Privajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad His Divine Grace Avai Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Srila Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada Anuga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories to Shishi Guru and Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 3. Canto 6, Chapter 3, Text 19. famous shloka. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam na vai vidurishayo napi devaha na siddha mukhya asura manushya kuto nu vidyadara charanadayah. Please repeat. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam na vai vidurishayo napi devaha न सिद्ध मुख्या असुरा मनुष्याः कुतो नो विद्याधर चारणादयः धर्मं तु साक्षात् भगवत् प्रणीतम् न वै विदुर्ऋषयो नापि देवाः न सिद्ध मुख्या असुरा मनुष्याः कुतो नु विद्याधर चारणादयः धर्मं तु साक्षात् भगवत् प्रणीतम् न वै विदुर्ऋषयो नापि देवाः न सिद्ध मुख्या असुरा मनुष्याः कुतो न विद्याधर चारणादयः धर्मं तु साक्षात् भगवत् प्रणीतम् वै विदुर्ऋषयो नपि देवाः मुख्या असुरा मनुष्याः साक्षात् भगवत् प्रणीतम् न वै विदुर्ऋषयो नापि देवाः मुख्या असुरा मनुष्याः कुतो न विद्याधराः Dharmam, real religious principles or bona fide laws of religion. Tu, but Sakshat, directly. Bhagavat, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pranitam, enacted. na, not, vai, indeed, viduhu, they know, rishayah, the great rishis such as Bhrigu, na, not, api, also, devaha, the demigods, na, nor, siddha mukhyaha, the chief leaders of Siddha Loka, asuraha, the demons, manushyaha, the inhabitants of Bhurloka, the human beings, kutaha, where, nu, indeed, vidyadhara, the lesser demigods, known as vidyadharas, charana, the residents of the planets, where people are by nature great music, where people are by nature great musicians and singers, adayah, and so on. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planets cannot ascertain the real religious principles. Nor can the demigods or the leaders of Siddha Loka, to say nothing of the asuras, ordinary human beings, vidyadharas and charanas. Purport: when challenged by the Vishnudutas to describe the principles of religion, the Yamaduta said, Veda pranihito dharmaha. The religious principles are the principles enacted in the Vedic literature. They did not know, however, that the Vedic literature contains ritualistic ceremonies that are not transcendental, but are meant to keep peace and order among materialistic persons in the material world. Real religious principles are nistray gunya, above the three modes of material nature or transcendental. The Yamadutas did not know these transcendental religious principles, and therefore, when prevented from arresting Ajamila, they were surprised. Materialistic persons who attach all their faith to the Vedic rituals are described in Bhagavad Gita 2.42, wherein Krishna says, Vedavadarataha partha na anyad astiti vadinaha. The supposed followers of the Vedas say that there is nothing beyond the Vedic ceremonies. Indeed, there is a group of men in India who are very fond of the Vedic rituals, not understanding the meaning of these rituals, which are intended to elevate one gradually to the transcendental platform of knowing Krishna. Vedaischa sarveir ahameva vedyaha. Those who do not know this principle, but who simply attach their faith to the Vedic rituals, are called Vedavadarataha. Indeed, it is stated that the real religious principle is that which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That principle is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. One should give up all other duties and surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the real religious principle everyone should follow. Even though one follows Vedic scriptures, one may not know this transcendental principle, for it is not known to everyone. To say nothing of human beings, even the demigods in the upper planetary systems are unaware of it. This transcendental religious principle must be understood from the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly, or from a special representative as stated in the next verses. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanavitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. At the outset, I'd like to welcome His Grace Kalakanta Prabhu, who is a very, very senior devotee, very much admired by me for his focus, for his very intelligent disposition and his preaching strategies. I have visited his place in Florida. There's a huge college preaching program where in the peak about 900 to 1,000 students take food prasadam every day in an American university. So he should actually be speaking here today, but somehow the management has scheduled that I should be speaking. So I am would be forced to do this, speak from the Bhagavat. I think these verses have been selected by our Bhakti Vaibhav students. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, a very famous sloka that Prabhupada would often quote, and a powerful statement. Look at these statements made here. Nobody knows Dharma really. It's from the Bhagavatam. It's from the cream of Vedic literature. Stating here, Navai vidur rishayo napi devaha. Demigods also don't know. Rishis and many great people become bewildered by wanting to know what is really Dharma. Right? So, the next shloka says, the shloka leads to the next one. There are some who know, few. Swayambhu Narada Sambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manuhu. In this, the Mahajanas are listed here. So it is rare that somebody would know what is really Dharma. Mostly people in this world, we have come here to enjoy material nature, sense enjoyment, with the facilities that has been provided for us by Krishna. Krishna explains that in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartaiha aghayur indriya ramo moham partasa jivati. There he explains religion according to material standards. You do this sacrifice for the demigods, they will supply you all that is necessary. In this way, there will be a good relationship amongst you and the demigods. In this way, gradually you can purify yourself and you can come to me. I am the purpose of all religion. In this way, he introduces them saying, since you are interested in sense gratification, I, as your father, affectionately have made this arrangement for you. My dear children, enjoy, but don't forget me. In the process of enjoying material nature, which you will get by following these rules and regulations given in the Vedas, you will get that enjoyment granted to you. But ultimately, the purpose is to come to me. I am your supreme father. Pitaham asya jagato mata data pitamaha. I am your father, mother, everything for you. In this way, Krishna explains religion at its very low level, base level, beginning level, at the last rung of the ladder. That's religion. But the purpose of this religion, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, is to achieve Krishna. So, we sometimes hear so much, why sometimes all the time in India it's like religion all over the place. Every nook and corner there is a temple of a demigod. Sometimes there's temple of Krishna, Vishnu, and there is worship. There is a lot of ritualistic worship, and we get involved in that. There's a certain thrill that comes out of taking part in a ritual. We are so used to it, we like it, and for many, many janmas we have done it. That mechanical, ritualistic stuff, all that flamboyance and all that jhalamela, the drums banging, the beautiful decorations, the utsava, and the, everybody dressed so nicely for the festival, and so many things happen there. It's a festive mood. All that is so nice. It's so social. It's so connecting. But in the process, somehow Krishna slips out. Vedavadrataha partha. You will see them chanting all the Vedas, everything, but completely forgetting Krishna. Vedaisya sarver hame vivedyaha. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. But here they are following all the Vedic rituals and not remembering Krishna. Minus Krishna, all the Vedic rituals. That's the big flaw. It's not that religion as it is enunciated is bad. It is a basis of Krishna consciousness. It's not that religion itself should be replaced with only Krishna consciousness, like somebody say. No, people are at different levels in this world, and Krishna has designed this. He is saying, I have set it like this, because there are people who will always be interested in enjoying their senses, and they are my children. I am providing for them. But at the same time, within certain limits, I am laying down certain rules. They enjoy within that. That constitutes religion. Basic civilization. Prabhupada said, if you don't follow this much, you're not a human being. This is basic religion. If you don't follow even this much, the rules, the instructions of God, then you slip down to a much lower level. Animalistic life. So don't think religion is not an option for human beings. It's not that I can choose to be religious or not. You will choose to be religious or not at the great danger of you being a human being or not. That's what is the definition. If you don't have God in your lifestyle, you cannot be a human being. This is very clearly mentioned. Very clearly mentioned. At the same time, at least you must be attached to some demigod and worshipping and understanding that Vishnu is the supreme and all that together. You'll be religious and you factor God in your life in some way or the other. You'll be just crossing the boundary and you'll be categorized as a human being. If you have no God consciousness, if you have no God involved, then you're an animal. This is a very important definition. Prabhupada makes it very clear. So, this is not the be-all and end-all. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. Now, beyond that, if you draw a whole graph, now that I've become a human being, atato brahma jigyasa. Now you must inquire and ask questions about what is Dharma. What am I supposed to do? Who am I? Where am I from? Who is God? What is His creation? Etc., etc. All these questions are supposed to be asked by the human being. That's when he makes civilization proper. He advances. That's when he advances. Up. He moves up. That is described very nicely in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna in great detail for Arjuna, who has put up a lot of false arguments on the basis of kapat religion, false religion. And so Krishna is answering this. In the Bhagavatam you will see it powerfully stated, with no compromise, with no marketing, with no diplomacy, nothing, just stated just like that. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Take it or leave it. You have to do this. If you don't do this, you're like this, like this. Most people don't get it. That's what's mentioned here in the shloka. Most people don't get it, and Krishna is also criticizing those people who simply chant the Vedas and don't get the essence. Vedavadarataha partha nanyad astiti vadinaha. He himself is saying they chant the Veda, but they don't know the essence of the Veda. They're just chanters of the Veda. So what a powerful statement Krishna has made in the Bhagavad Gita. And he has denounced these type of, he has denounced demigod worship in the 7th chapter so powerfully. But nobody speaks about it when it comes to Bhagavad Gita. Everybody continues to preach something like, some screwed up religion from the Bhagavad Gita. It's so amazing to me because I know I was such a deeply religious person. Before I joined the Krishna conscious movement, I was going to a temple every Friday evening. I would go, although I was in a school studying. For me, going to the temple was a important thing. I would walk up all the way to the temple, pay my respects, offer my prayers to Saraswati, chant Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatime Sada. All these shlokas I will chant. Give me good knowledge. I must be scoring high and I must study very well. Da 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 da. All these things. I will start to do it. And I very ritualistically, religiously did it. And I believed in God and everything. But when I started reading Prabhupada's books and got in touch with devotees, there was a huge upheaval inside me. How is this possible? First thing that I wanted to know is, why did nobody tell me about this? It was shocking to me that nobody talks about all these things. And Prabhupada is very plainly speaking in simple language. He makes it very, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Full stop. The absolute truth is a person. He is Krishna. It's very simple and so powerful. It hits you with a thud on the chest. What are you saying? And when I read all these things about demigod worship and all these things, I become very disturbed. My whole idea of religiousness and God and everything was really challenged. And I remember going and speaking to the devotees, not out of wanting to be Krishna conscious, out of being disturbed. What did you say that? This is how it's supposed to be. He said, no, it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita like that. And then this is the first time I started reading the Bhagavad Gita. And it says mentioned like this in the Bhagavad Gita. I thought the Bhagavad Gita talks about this. It was a very, interesting revelation for me. What is religion? I came to know. Who is God? I came to know. Nobody explained it like this to me. Inside this whole great religious country where the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, nobody explained it to me. I like to go public on this. Not my parents, not the teachers, not the great elders I had, and not the holy people I met, and not all the great Vadyars and all the priests who used to come every month to my house to do this puja, that puja. Nobody said it. That's why I relate to the shloka very well. Na vai viduro na rishaya na munaya. Nobody knows it. Everybody is busy doing some ritualistic stuff, mechanically, and they call it religion. And on top of that, this piece of thing that was already going on with all the great 800 years of Mughal rule and then 200 years of British rule, there was another reaction on the people who were following this so-called Vedavadarataha Partha. Then from that came another form of religion, screwed up, modern Hinduism. And that is what is being followed. That is what is being followed. And so also with all other religions too, whether it's Christianity or it is Islam or any of these other religions. Nobody gets it right. And this is a shocking revelation to me. Most people don't know. And this Bhagavatam shloka is saying it, they don't know. Many people think that they know, but they don't know. Some people want to know, but they cannot get to the persons who know. And those who know keep quiet about it. They don't speak much to anybody else. They simply keep quiet. It is only Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in recent times who not only knew it very deeply, he had a whole plan to make the whole world know about it. And he spread it. He very boldly went and presented this all over the world. Real religion, what it is. It's not that only Hindus need to know. Everybody in the world needs to know. Everybody has the right to know. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. He opened up and explained things in a completely different way. Made it so broad, so generous, so magnanimous, so much of sharing, and very different. Very different. And this is how it is supposed to be. If you read the Bhagavatam, you'll see that's the spirit. That's how it's supposed to be. That's why it says here only a pure devotee of the Lord can understand, will know. Will know. So it's very important for us to know this. You see, like I often say, Prabhupada said you can even bump into a demigod in this world. But bumping into a pure devotee of the Lord is very rare. Pure devotee means you know the real religious principles from him. You know exactly what religion is. And you know what to do. And you'll surely know what not to do. That is why in this conversation, you will see if you go back, this is happening in the conversation between the Vishnu Dutas and the Yamadutas, as you already know. And it's mentioned here that the Vishnu Dutas, they are very cool, composed, because they know. And they are doing what they are supposed to do. Just stopping the Yamadutas by slashing off the ropes, freeing Ajamila, and then questioning the Yamadutas. So what do you think is Dharma? If you're protesting against what we are doing, what do you know is Dharma? And they explain what the Vedas say is Dharma. Anything against that is Adharma. This is what we have heard. Iti Shushuma. This is what we have heard. It means they have heard from Yamaraj. And then they say, no, I think you understood it wrongly. Or you not understood it fully. You got to go back to Yamaraj and ask him. And they disappear. And amazingly, Ajamila is witness to this. And he gets woken up. A rude awakening to him. Very nice awakening to him. And he comes to know what is really Dharma, what I should be doing. And he starts doing that and goes back to Godhead. As per the Vishnu Duta's plans. Yamadutas go back to Yamaraj and they are clarifying, and Yamaraj is saying, this is the meaning of Dharma. And then he's citing here all the Mahajanas. I am one of them also. Yamaraj himself is one of them. And then he's saying, Etavan eva loke asmin pumsam dharma parasmritah bhakti yogo bhagavati tannama grihanadibhi. Just see this. Devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. Statement made. And if you simply understand how Prabhupada has packed up the real topmost religion in a doable fashion, he has crafted it very nicely, given it in a capsule for people in Kali Yuga. You can do this and you'll hit the target bullseye. You don't have to worry about this, that, everything. You'll be doing the best of things if you chant Hare Krishna, if you worship Krishna, if you read the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, live a lifestyle according to those principles that Prabhupada has given, and stick around within the society serving Krishna, wonderful things will happen to you. You will definitely go back to Godhead, which is the highest destination. So just understand, it's not that sometimes I hear devotees saying, Krishna consciousness is not just Hindu religion. True. Krishna consciousness is not simply religion. True. Krishna consciousness is meant for everybody. True. But different people are saying this from different platforms. And where they are coming from is also different. If you probe a little more further and ask them why you said that, you'll say they're saying it from a different platform. And then people hear certain things, also they consider to be sometimes offensive, sometimes this, that. The last time in the ILS, I gave a seminar on Sankirtan or Samkirtan, it was titled. And I spoke about some of these principles and what Prabhupada instituted and everything. And somehow I made reference to the fact that India something. And immediately two of the devotees said, it's not that India is the only place where this should happen. I said, I didn't make that statement. But somehow it looked that I made that statement that way because I'm an Indian-bodied devotee speaking about India in this way. I understood immediately that I didn't say it, but it's been perceived like that. It's very fast perceived like that. Similarly, people perceive certain things about Krishna conscious movement from outside. We perceive certain things about people outside. We think that certain people are like this, Hindus, da. It may not be true. Everybody is potentially capable of being Krishna conscious. That's the premise we should start from. Whatever the perceptions are on, all those cobwebs are on, we don't need to take that into account. First of all, we should understand very nicely what is Dharma. Another definition of Dharma given by Prabhupada is the intrinsic quality of anything. And Prabhupada explains fire's quality is to burn, to give heat, to give light. Then similarly, you will have water. In my school, I was taught that water is tasteless, odorless substance. In the science, did you hear that? It's tasteless, odorless, da. But in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. The taste in the water is Krishna. You can see how diametrically opposite the understanding is. Water can remind you of Krishna. Definitely water has got a taste. It's not tasteless, odorless. And Bhagavad Gita says that taste is Krishna. Sweet. In Coimbatore you get Sirivani water. It's one of the world's number 2 sweetest water. You drink that. In my younger ages, I drank many times water. In summer season, you drink it from the mud pot and it is so tasty. Who said water doesn't have a taste? Of course it is tasty. So this way we understand the dharma of water. Taste. So Prabhupada explained that similarly the dharma of the soul is to serve. The intrinsic quality of the soul is service. Service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is dharma. Naturally, the soul knows its dharma. Serving the Supreme Lord, Jivere Surupu Hoi Krishnere Nityadas. Lord Chaitanya explained to Tapan Mishra, who was very disturbed, who had this question in his mind, who am I? And he went to many brahmanas, he went to many people and asked. He was not satisfied. And in a dream, he was told that Nimai Pandit is here in Bangladesh. If you meet him, he will tell you the answer. So he went searching Nimai Pandit, who is very famous, and he fell at his feet and he asked, I've been asking people, I don't get an answer. Who am I? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, Jivere Surupa Hoi Krishnere Nitya Das. You are eternally a servant of Krishna. This is your constitutional position, your Swarupa. And when he said that, he became immediately very peaceful, happy. He fell at his feet. And he said, only by your saying so am I satisfied. Bhagavat Pranitam. Krishna is stating this. Only Krishna can state it. That is the truth. It's not so easy to be understood either. It's not something that you can understand easily. That is why when Draupadi is getting disrobed in the Sabha and she's approaching everybody, she has been dragged by the hair by Dushasana. What a horrible incident. Dragged by the hair, humiliated. insulted, and she is going to get disrobed, and the husbands can do nothing. They are powerless. And Duryodhana exposed his thigh and said, now that you don't belong to anybody, actually, and now that your husbands belong to me, why don't you come and sit on my thigh? This is his bold statement. And you can see complete, collapse of Dharma. And she's going around begging and asking everybody, can't you protect me? The blind king Dhritarashtra couldn't do anything. Dronacharya, Kripacharya, mum. She speaks to Bhishma. Bhishma says also that the ways of Dharma are very difficult to understand and execute, my dear daughter. And that's what he's able to say. And she took recourse to Krishna only. And then you know the story, how it unfolds. He told Draupadi that it's difficult for me to actually make out what exactly is the right thing to do now. The ways of Dharma are very difficult. I'm tied up. I'm completely entangled in this rules, that, this. I don't know how to act. This is Bhishma saying so. So that's why it's mentioned here. Navai vidur devo. Many people get confused as to what to do right and what. Kim karameti, kim akarameti, kavayopyatra mohita. Tatteham pravakshyami yajnatva mokshayate ashubhat. Ashubha, inauspicious situation Bhishma was in. He doesn't know how to do it. So Krishna is similarly telling Arjuna, I'll clear you from this inauspicious situation. What to do and what not to do, even the great learned people get confused. So it's not an easy thing to understand. At the same time, it is easy to understand under a pure devotee, a Bhagavata. This Bhagavad Dharma can be understood like that. So just see what Prabhupada has given us. It's not something new. I remember I heard all sorts of comments when I was first going to Krishna consciousness from some of my relatives. They said, no, this is all meant for Westerners. This is very simple, just chanting and look at them jumping, dancing. Where have you seen anybody dancing in our religion? It's all meant for them. It's like, and it really took it. Yeah, why are they simply jumping and dancing? They're laughing. It's not serious. Religion is very serious. You got to be serious. Vedanta Sutra, you got to sit in a corner and read it and sweat it out. Try to understand it. Especially if it is Brahman and you have to merge into Brahman, it's going to be super difficult to understand. Why are they doing this? And said, no, it's all meant for mlechas and yavanas and those type of people. But although it sounded externally okay, for the time being it's a okay answer. But something was bugging me. And I was reading, because many of these things that these people say seem very sensible to me, because it's dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. It is appealing to the soul. And somewhere something is telling you this is the right thing. It's the right thing. Get it. It's telling you somewhere inside, in spite of all the convictions and all the great things that you know, something is pointing out that this is the right thing. And you can feel that there's a change in every Indian Hindu I've seen happening, and it's a great pleasure for me to be an instrument of that change. I take pleasure, some sort of a different type of a pleasure in trying to tell this is good and watch the person change. And invariably people change because this is the truth. The soul is attracted to the truth, the absolute truth, Krishna. And so, what we are doing is not to be considered something ordinary. It's rare, as the shloka shows. Most people don't understand it properly. Leave alone them following it or anything. They don't even know it. But the whole world can get to know it now by the great work done by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is what Prabhupada has done. It's not an ordinary thing. It's an amazing thing he has done. Taken it around the whole world and given it to everybody desperately and created a society for preaching the real religious principle. There may be something wrong here and something wrong, the small things. It doesn't matter at all. The great job of everybody getting to know the holy name, getting to know Krishna, Bhagavad Gita exactly as it should be understood as it is. This is an amazing thing. It's an amazing achievement. Not anybody did this before. Not many people did this before or tried to do it before. In this scale, with this level of purity, with this level of dedication and commitment. So that is why Prabhupada is a great ambassador. He is a great leader. He has led the whole world. Whatever great leadership people may show elsewhere, and they may get rewarded for this, for that, this and that. Most of the leaders in this world lead people to better sense gratification, or better options and opportunities and hopes and things like that. But very rarely leaders in this world who claim to be successful, who are recognized as successful, would give people the real stuff, lead people to the real stuff. Leadership means leading a person from point A to point B. B is better than A. You have grown. You've evolved. You know more. You've progressed. All these things you can feel as a human being. Srila Prabhupada has given that blessing, that experience to many. That is his great contribution. So we should recognize what real religion is, and we should recognize Krishna consciousness as the topmost religion. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti rathokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasiddhati. Same thing Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja in the Bhagavad Gita also. In this way, real religion established is very important for human society. And Prabhupada often spoke about a godless society is no good. And here you will see he's saying, I'm reading another purport where it's mentioned Swayambhu Narada Sambhu. He says here, in the present day, before that he says, in the Padma Purana it is said, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishphala Mataha. If one does not follow the four recognized disciplic successions, his mantra or initiation is useless. Nishphala. Statement made. In the present day, there are many apasampradayas or sampradayas which are not bona fide, which have no link to authorities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Kumaras or Lakshmi. People are misguided by such sampradayas. The Shastras say that being initiated in such a sampradaya is a useless waste of time, for it will never enable one to understand the real religious principles. This is a very important statement for people in India. Don't waste your human life. We should take it very seriously. It's easy, simple to follow the real religious principle. Krishna has made it very easy. Krishna will never make it difficult for his children to get back to him. Very simple logic. The way ritualistic Vedic ceremonies are all propagated, everybody knows it's very difficult for me to do it. Some section of people alone do it. The Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas, knowing that we are the only guys who can do it, became corrupt. They became very corrupt. Whole religion got corrupt. Everything got completely jinxed. And inside here, you can see that everybody can do it. This is the religious principle Prabhupada has brought in. Anybody in any situation, tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kalaha. Because that is how it should be. If it is Bhagavat Pranitam, if it's God's word for his children, he will make sure that everybody can follow it. All his children can follow it, whichever situation and circumstances they are in. Because he loves them. That's how it should be. It's not that some people alone can do it, the others cannot do it. That's the big flaw. Right? And there are always people like that in all religions. Not only in Hinduism. So, beyond all these things, Prabhupada has instituted the religion. The real religion, one should not think that it is only religion for this age. It is actually the real religion, as stated in the Bhagavatam. Chanting the holy name of the Lord is the highest religious principle. So we are doing that, and we should do it carefully without offenses and be instrumental in bringing this to others. And that will be very pleasing to Krishna. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any questions or comments? And if there's anything that Prabhu would like to comment over and above.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. That was so enlightening. Yes, it was reminding me of the ritualistic Brahmins and their wives. My question for you is this. In 1967 or 8, Srila Prabhupada was in Calcutta with his young Western disciple, Achyutananda. And Achyutananda was watching the Kali Puja for the first time. And he was seeing this rather bloody, violent worship. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, which is better, this Kali Puja or Christianity in the West? And Prabhupada thought about it. He said the Kali Puja is better because at least it's following some system. So in the West, people have a sense of belief in God, but no principles, and it's very random. So Bhakti Vinoda Thakur says we're supposed to appreciate everyone's God consciousness and religion. I'm just curious about your thoughts and observations. How can we appreciate something which is not systematic from the Vedas and yet has some sense of God consciousness?
Oh, interesting question. I would understand that originally when these prophets spoke the religion, they would have spoken it in the proper sense. That is the religion we should refer to. Prabhupada glorified Jesus Christ and Muhammad. He said these two individuals have done the greatest good to human society. But at the same time, he thoroughly bashed some of the others who are very well known in India. And he said these people have spoiled the whole Indian society. So this is something that most people cannot digest in the present climate also. But Prabhupada knew what is real religion. He's saying it from that platform. Similarly, I remember Vasu Ghosh Prabhu told me once that same conversation. Hinduism, Mayavadis, mostly Hinduism is following the Mayavad philosophy a lot. So he said that I think the Christians are better than the Mayavadis. And Prabhupada said, no, the Mayavadis are better. It was very surprising. He said, why? He said, they are following Dharma. This Christian religion, they eat the cow. They don't have Dharma. But they are following Dharma. They may be wrong in their conclusion about what is the absolute truth. And they may have got jinxed there. But till then they are right. They have already come up following religious principles. Come to the Brahman platform. They have gone through self-realization. They are very serious about matter, spirit, and all those things. And there they have a confusion. And they have slipped. So these people eat the cow. And what type of religion is that doesn't have the pillars of religion in place? So there's a technical analysis Prabhupada did and said, no, this is better. The Mayavadis may be offensive. Out of all the Brahman realized people, some are Mayavadis. Not that everybody is a Mayavadi. Brahmavadis are waiting to progress. Right? That's the statement of the Bhagavad Gita. Where Krishna says, after reaching the Brahman stage, you will get Bhakti. Isn't it? What is the shloka? Mad Bhaktim labate param. He says that. And even in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said that you're already a Brahmana if you're a Vaishnava. And you're already going through the Brahman stage, then coming to the devotional stage. So that stage is mentioned. So therefore, real religion, that's why it's important for us to understand. I would say that that's my overall answer to the question, nothing specific. But I think we should understand. It's a very good question posed. we should understand what is really religion. And sometimes when people say Krishna consciousness is not religion, Krishna consciousness also has got religious tones in the beginning for everybody. We should religiously follow things. Sadhana bhakti is about religion. It's about being ritualistic at least. You start by being ritualistic, but you don't get stagnated there. That's the whole point. You're religious, and then you become purified, then you become completely self-realized, become Brahman situated, and then you develop love of Krishna. These three stages Prabhupada keeps mentioning everywhere. Purification, and then being in Gyan, being in self-realization, then getting love of Godhead. Maybe all these things happen very fast and together, but there's a stage in that also. So you are religious also. What's your religion? My religion is Krishna consciousness. The only thing I know is that this religion gives me love of Godhead. All the others, maybe the Brahmavadis may get off at the station called Brahman. I continue beyond. I don't get off at Brahman. For me, there is more than Brahman. For many Hindus, the topmost thing is Mukti, Brahman. I get off at the station. The bell is rung. What are you guys are doing inside, you Krishna guys? No, we are going further. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. After this. So that is why the chanting of the holy name provides purification for you. Purascharya Viddhi. It's mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in 15.108. The chanting of the holy name serves as purificatory first. Then it serves you with knowledge and bringing you to the Brahman platform. Then when you are ready, it gives you holy name, Prema. In this way, that's why it's called Chintamani. It is the one single principle for everything for you. From beginning to the end. It is the means, it is the end. Okay? Yes, thank you. Any other question or comment?
Maharaj, there is an online comment from Anil Tarigopula. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandot Pranams. With his limitless mercy upon fallen conditioned souls like me, Srila Prabhupada has made all arrangements for me to know Krishna conscious in his life.
It's a comment?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Any question? Om Tat Sat, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.